All right, day 3 in the garage. So this morning's project is to work on polishing the glass and getting it ready for the coating with this, which is CarPro's FlyBy30, which is the new glass coating we're going to try today.
Yeah, so we're going to polish the glass using Car correction compound. So this is the front of the bottle here.
We're going to use this in combination with some of the Meguiar's, the microfiber cutting pads. And I guess the whole idea here is we've got, again, a new car, so we're not needing to correct the glass. We're more just doing a deep clean of it. So combination of that with this.
Yep.
Hope to get us.
And you're not going to be removing any scratches from glass. If you want to remove scratches, it's pretty unlikely you're going to do that, but you're going to sit there for hours and hours with like a rayon pad.
Yep.
And you're going to heat the glass up and you're going to burn through it to try and remove the glass scratches. But I mean, with this, just literally cleaning it up, and here I can't see any scratches on this glass anyway. It's pretty much brand new, so I think we'll be fine. This will be a quick once over, couple of passes in that hex or hex-like motion.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a hashtag motion, isn't it?
It is, yeah. We're going up, down, and then across, back and forth.
Yep.
So we'll give it a clean up. What we'll do is we've got a few other areas that we need to tape up, I think, just to get us prepared, because we don't want this polish getting on anything, because again, it's going to be really difficult to remove.
Yep.
So we'll take you around the side of the car, show you a couple of the extra bits that we're taping up, and show you what we're going to do to clean this glass up. And
just like yesterday, I'm still garage manager.
Yep.
Because I think, you know, we're going to make sure it's nice and tidy again.
It was pretty tidy when I came in here this morning.
So much. Yesterday was such a nice day. You know, we've done a couple of these cars now.
Yep.
And it's been such a stress, you know, stressful with all the stuff everywhere, towels everywhere, junk everywhere, and you just hate life. So, garage manager again, you know.
Well done, garage manager.
God, thanks. Thanks. We're going to make sure, because I see today you got the wrong shirt on.
I do. I'm blinded by that light too.
You've got the prototype Omni Garage shirt. You got the small logo.
Yep, small logo. No.
You've got none of the tags on the front there. So these tags on the front of the shirt.
Yeah, no pip tag.
No side tag there.
Side tag.
But you do have the logo on the back. So I think the titles are fitting. Garage manager.
Yeah. Apprentice.
Apprentice.
That's all right. That's all right. I can handle that as long as the garage manager feeds me today. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll make sure you get fed.
I'm hoping for the first Big Mac today.
Oh, sorry, I didn't give you any snacks yesterday.
That's all right. You can make up for it today.
Okay. You know? This guy hasn't had a Big Mac ever in his life.
Yeah, we're going to try. Lunch break today.
I think I'll treat you to a Big Mac.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Come on, we'll tape this up. So we've taped all of this. This is still on from the polishing stage, but what we've just seen here is there's a bit of a crack between the panes of glass here. So what we want to do is make sure that we get that trim behind all taped up, because the last thing we want to do when we're reaching the end stage of our detail is having to deal with getting polish off the trim there. You do have a product that works well with that, don't you? Meguiar's
M39. It comes in a spray bottle. I don't know if it's like 900 mils or something like that. You just spray it onto that sort of porous trim, you know, the rubber type trim stuff, and a little bit of a brush agitation, then wipe it off, and it does a really good job at pulling that polish oils and polish that. You usually get like this white hazy look over that, sort of those rubber seals and stuff. That cleans that stuff up really nicely, so get yourself a bottle of that too. Yeah,
so it's not the end of the world if you get some polish on there, but look, if you can spend 2 minutes now to avoid a clean up later, makes your life a whole lot easier.
I mean, it's just a couple of strips of tape you just put there just to cover those cracks on the inside.
To be honest, the tape doesn't really want to stick very well here, but once we close the door, as long as we don't open them again until we finish polishing, we should be good to go. And I think this shows exactly why you want to make sure you do your decon well in advance too. We've still got some water coming out of here, and we're 2 days later after the initial decon wash. So there we go. We'll go do that tape on the other side. We'll get our pads ready and start cleaning up this glass.
So just switched it to that poly tape. It seems to be sticking a little bit better.
Not really.
Not really?
It's not a... Yeah, it's an interesting plastic, this.
Is it plastic or is it rubber?
Rubber, sorry.
It's a rubber seal, isn't it?
It's a rubber seal.
But does the rubber seal feel like it's slick? Like it's got like a...
Yeah, it is. So hopefully we can close this door and keep that on there. That'll do.
So what we're doing is just trying to protect this little bit of, just where the window sort of doesn't quite meet that center panel there, it's sort of, there's a gap down there, so just covering a little bit of that trim there, because you don't want to get polish in there. It'll be a nightmare to try and get off. Okay, so just like I showed you yesterday, if you want a little bit more detail, go back to a few of the other videos later or early on in the channel. I talk about pads, why we use different pads, the sizes and things to look for. But setting up your pad here, we have Meguiar's, this is a microfiber pad. So it doesn't have the circle like you do on the Rupes pad, so you just want to try and line this up as best as you can, bearing in mind that this is a 5-inch backing plate, and this is kind of a bit bigger than 5-inch. I think it's almost 6-inch backing plate, isn't it?
Yeah, that's slightly bigger, but it doesn't taper like the Rupes pads.
So you can see that when I overlap this is actually going to be slightly, it's going to be slightly bigger. You just have to do the best you can to line it up. We do have a bit of overhang on each side, see, like that. Whereas the Rupes pads, what happens with those is that they have a 5-inch, we have a 5-inch backing plate, we have a 5-inch pad, but it tapers out, it flares out to a 6-inch face. Whereas this clearly doesn't do that. So this here has got microfiber fibers on here, so you want to activate them using your Rupes claw tool. And that, see how they're all quite, I don't know if you can see, but if we work the angles a little bit, you can see that these fibers are all being flattened. They've been in storage for 6 odd months, so you want to reactivate it. See, now if we're brushing them back, pulls all those fibers up.
There's a bit of dust coming out of there too, isn't there?
There is a bit. So now you're ready to put your polish on. This is Jess Car Correction compound, showed it at the beginning. Shake it up because this has been sitting for 6 months as well. You want to make sure all the parts to the compound here are all nicely mixed together. Can tend to separate out a little bit. And for the first time you want to put quite a decent amount on here, so, and then you want to, so we'll just a few drops here and there. And then grab the other end of your Rupes claw tool, which is the buttering side, and you just want to evenly spread this around. And you want to get that compound into all those fibers as best as possible. Do you also like it when the courier guy drives past, you know?
The courier is one of the most exciting parts.
I love it when they pull into the driver. It's like, oh yeah!
Especially when you don't remember which parcel it could be, if you've got a couple on the go.
Got me a package arriving.
Yeah. No courier visits today, unfortunately.
No courier visits. And then finish buttering it up, you just want to put 2 pea-sized drops onto the pad. And again, we want to sort of, I guess, activate these fibers. Again, we want to, what's it called when you spin on the paint?
Prime.
You want to prime it on here for, just hold it in one spot, low speed, and just prime the pad for about 30 odd seconds or so. You want to hold it with a little bit of pressure and keep it still. So this is on setting number 2.
And the philosophy on your glass is a little bit different as well. Whereas on the paint, you're wanting to control your speed a bit more. On the glass, you can just go full speed.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't get any pad stall because there's really limited amount of damage that you can do to your glass.
And you can see here that we've got a nice even distributed amount of product around that pad, and then you can get your claw tool and we can, you know, sort of pull those hairs back up. This is quite an old pad. We're probably getting ready for a new set of these.
Yeah, those are ready for retirement, I think.
Reactivated, 2 pea-sized drops on there and you're good to start polishing your glass.
Okay, so the beauty of having the 2 machines as well is I'm going to go around with a 3-inch machine, cut in all of the corners, and then Glenn's going to follow in all of the bigger areas using the larger machine. Keeps us really simple. Plug me in. I'm unplugged.
What?
I'm unplugged.
Oh, you're unplugged.
I'll go by hand, eh?
Are you going to buy Unplugged Performance for the kit? You're going to go to Unplugged Performance to get the new body kit on here?
Nope.
Okay. So I'll plug you in so that you're not unplugged.
You plug me in.
You've managed to rip it out of the wall too. That's why it doesn't work.
Yeah?
Try now.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
We're good?
Right, we've worked our way around to the back of the car, and what we found in quite a few areas is we've got some water spotting really hard etched into the glass. So you should be able to see it here. If we wipe that away, see those dots?
Give it another wipe and you'll just see it's almost like water spotting.
And they're in really weird spots all around.
That trim there. And so a couple of reasons for that is maybe when the car was shipped, you know, sitting on the boat and stuff, it might be a bit of salt water, but it's not in the middle of the glass, it's just in weird spots around the outside. So we were using Just Car Correction compound, and then when we wiped it off after polishing the glass, we found that there were a few spots that hadn't been removed. So we have stepped it up a little bit to Rupes CutMax, still with that microfiber pad, microfiber cutting pad, and that seems to have done the trick. So we'll show you, we'll do a little spot here and we'll show you these little water spots remove away.
That should be enough from what we found on some of the other panels to remove those spots. So yep, the spots at the top have come out. We can see there's a line of spots at the bottom, a little bit further along there too. But everything in that black area that we showed has come out. So we'll hit that again, get a little bit closer to the edge. And this is really where you want the Rupes Nano machine, because using this 3 inches, you can get close, but you can't quite get as precise as you want to. So we'll do the best with the tools we've got at hand. Another quick pass and see if we can pull those out. Don't get too close to the corner.
And we've been sort of using a few different methods to remove this polish. We've been using Meguiar's surface prep, we've been using invisible glass, and we've also been using CarPro razor. And to be honest with you, I can't really tell the difference between all 3 of those products. I think just use a glass cleaner to remove it. I think that's good enough, eh?
Yeah, they're all doing a great job. But stoked those marks came out there. Wipe again there. They're out. So what we're going to do is just carry on. The only section we've got left on this car is the rear glass panel, probably up to about the point where it becomes or right here where it becomes a sunroof. So we've just got to work through this area. I'm going to go around the edges again. Glenn's going to take the 5-inch machine, power through the majority of the top. We'll record a few more minutes and show you where we get to before our coating. You like that sound, eh? Ooh, posty. Squeak, 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 squeak. Posties here.
Here comes the postie with the squeak, 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 squeak.
It's not the sound you're wanting to hear yet, eh?
I'm still after the rubbish truck noise, yeah, man.
Is the rubbish truck a diesel? It is a diesel. You know, you need to talk on the rubbish truck. Stop, start, stop, start. See? Squeak, 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 squeak.
It's got the sounds going.
Yeah? Not the sounds you'd have in the dump truck though, eh?
The joys of not working, eh, during the week.
Yeah. I'm going to put my bet that those spots were like salt spray.
Possibly.
Sitting in the port or on the ship.
Yeah.
And especially because they're worse on some of the flatter surfaces, I think they've dried.
Dried on there. Yep. But it's random that it's not everywhere. You'd probably expect that sea spray would be
all over the place.
All over. Yeah.
It's all right. We're working through it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Almost finished.
Almost finished. So we have officially finished polishing the polishing the car. We've also finished polishing the paint, so now it's time to pull all this tape off, ready for our, I suppose, final wipe down to really prepare that surface for the coating. You like doing this, eh? You reckon this is the most enjoyable part?
I think it's enjoyable because this is like the end of a stage, right? This is the end of your, end of the polishing. It just feels satisfying.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but also you want to try and peel this off real quick and you're rushing through it because you just want to get into coating, but actually it takes a bit longer than you think to peel this off. And then the wiping down of the car is not very that enjoyable, you know. Some people, if they're, you know, lucky enough where they've got a wash bay inside or something, could probably pull that car into their wash bay and then give it a wash down. Some people do that. We don't have that luxury because today it's been raining and stuff. So we're just going to wipe it down with just CarPro razor.
Yeah, maybe a combination of some Meguiar's surface prep as well. We don't have a whole lot of a razor left, so we'll see how far our bottle gets us. From what I can see so far, we haven't got a whole lot of polish on the trim.
No, that's good news, isn't it?
And you will have a lot of polish dust in your trim that even won't come out after your first, you know, your first wipe down of a razor or IPA or whatever it may be. But don't worry, that will come out in your first wash.
And the beauty about this tape is it doesn't leave much residue behind. It doesn't leave much of that glue stickiness behind on the trim. It leaves it feeling pretty much like it was pre-taping. And I mean, this tape's stuck really well to the car over the last sort of 3 days or so, so recommend getting yourself some of this tape.
Oh, look how nice that bit comes off.
Oh, buddy.
A lot of polish dust under there.
And it comes off in big sheets, you know, like you don't want tape to be ripping as you're pulling it off, you know, like imagine trying to get one of those little sticky labels off, barcode off the back of a product. You know how you try and scratch that off?
Yeah.
If your tape did that, that would drive you absolutely nuts. I hope that rubbish truck hurries up because I want to go grab some lunch. Hey, you excited about getting a Big Mac for lunch?
I'm quite nervous actually.
How can you be nervous about getting a Big Mac?
Well, I've never had one before. Okay.
Never had a Big Mac.
I'm nervous about.
You're like the biggest takeaway person I've met.
Okay.
And you've never had a Big Mac.
Here's the thing. I tried a quarter pounder once. Didn't like the meat. Hamburgers are fine, nice thin meat. I got no problem with that.
Why don't you like quarter pounder?
It was just too, like, I don't know, too juicy, and I feel like it probably wasn't.
But you're the kind of guy who goes to one place,
yeah,
and gets one thing on the menu, and that's like your whole life. That's all you're ever going to get.
Yeah, I do change up at McDonald's. Sometimes I get the chicken nuggets, you know.
Like I reckon you're that guy that goes to the supermarket and buys the same deodorant, and you've had the same deodorant for 10 years.
Correct, yep.
I get like a different can every time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's because your deodorant is deodorant and cologne, right?
That's why you've never tried a Big Mac, because you're not adventurous enough. You know?
I'm nervous about the sauce.
Oh, the Big Mac sauce.
I don't know what Big Mac sauce is.
Oh, that's right, because
like.
you don't like mayonnaise.
Is it mayonnaise?
No, you don't like mayonnaise.
No, but what's a Big Mac sauce?
I don't know, it's secret ingredient.
Does it taste like mayonnaise?
It's kind of like KFC, you know, 19 herbs or how many.
Yeah, but compare it to something.
Compare it to something. It's kind of like mustardy, I don't really know, I don't know. It's a secret recipe.
So I'm not going to need to go, one Big Mac please, can I have no Big Mac sauce, add ketchup?
No, the part of having the Big Mac is the Big Mac sauce.
Okay.
You can actually buy a little pot of Big Mac sauce, like, as an extra.
I might skip that today. But I'll try a Big Mac. Do I need to get backup meal though, you know?
Probably. We should dine in so that if you don't like the Big Mac, you can bin the Big Mac.
I'll take it back and say,
excuse
there's
me.
a problem with this burger, sir.
It's got Big Mac sauce on it. I don't like mayo.
Well, that's the tape all off the car.
Yeah, that's
We're
the
all
tape.
sorted.
All sorted.
We're ready for a bit of a garage clean now. I think that's next step.
I think what we need to do is garage tidy up, you know, Mr. Garage manager here.
Yep.
Get the old tidy up, and then we'll blow the car down.
Yep.
With the leaf blower, pull the car out, we'll blow the garage down, remove all the dust, and
we're basically working with garage door closed for the rest of the detail, aren't we? Because we're trying to keep the environment as clean as possible for coating.
Yep.
We don't want dust, dirt.
The good thing about using Sonex Perfect Finish, Sonex CutMax, and actually Jess Car Correction Compound is that we don't have a lot of dust here at all, you know?
No, we don't.
So they're really nice products to use, and so you know, sometimes when you do have that high dust, you get dust everywhere. But when you're working in your own garage environment, you don't have like nice fans and extractors and all that type of stuff. So those products are perfect for at-home sort of DIY applications.
Oh, absolutely.
We really love using those products.
Yeah, I mean, I'm even looking down some of the cracks, right, where we hadn't taped. There's hardly any residual polishing dust anywhere. I think the whole idea of that blow off the car is just going to make the wipe down a bit easier for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're really clean products to work with.
Wipe down's really key because this is going to be the surface that you're essentially locking in.
Yep.
With the coating. So if you've got a little bit of dust or a little few bumps and stuff like that on the paint, then that coating is going to sit over the top of it, and that's what you've got for the next year and a bit.
Yeah.
So here we are pulling up to Macca's. What just happened back there, man? You got a bit of road rage. Sorry, I'm filming on an iPhone, so just deal with it.
What happened back there is someone didn't pull over for the police and overtook us instead.
So you know when the police are behind you, you got to pull over and get out of the way for the police. But we pulled over, the guy behind us just shot on through the roundabout, and then basically just ignored the rules. So you got a bit of road rage.
We have to dine in.
Oh, we can't drive through.
Drive-through's closed.
So we're pulling up to Macca's.
That's good. I'm happy to be. Oh, are we?
Oh, is this closed?
What's happening here? Sorry, we are closed due to a power outage.
We will open around 4 p.m.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Join the traffic again.
Join the traffic, and
We'll be back in a few minutes at the next.
we'll find us a new
next
Macca's. This one looks like a go. The drive-through's open.
Drive-through packed.
But we're going to dine in because you're not sure you're going to even like a Big Mac.
No, I might need to. Oh, look what we got here.
You're going in the wrong way, mate.
Oh, I am too. Oh no. Oh no.
No, just...
Oh no. Just blow through. Just commit to it.
Commit. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
He was nice about it.
He was. What a good bloke.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. Are they going through? Drive through. We're alright.
So what's your biggest concern about the Big Mac again?
The sauce? The sauce. I just don't know.
I find that so funny.
I don't like I don't really like mayonnaise. So if it's anything like mayo, I'm not going to be a fan. But as I say that, I love aioli. So aioli mayo, you know.
So what's your usual order? What do you
Macca's?
What do you usually go for?
I'll either go in and normally be like McChicken, a couple of McChickens,
Yeah.
chips, drink.
Yeah.
If I want to vary it, maybe one McChicken, some nuggets, or I'll be going like cheeseburgers, double cheeseburger.
Gotcha.
Very rarely a triple cheeseburger.
So basically a Big Mac
Yeah.
is pretty much a cheeseburger
Yeah.
with lettuce, Big Mac sauce.
And an extra bun.
So talk us through your thoughts. We were sitting underneath the speaker at Macca's, and so
We might be demonetized.
we might get demonetized. So we'll overlay him eating his burger, and he can. What do you think?
I'll walk you through, right? So now you're watching me hold the Big Mac in my hands. And I'm about to take the first bite, and there we go.
A lot of lettuce, eh? A lot of
There
lettuce.
was a lot of lettuce. It was a bit of a mess. But do you know what? I have been missing out on that burger. Really surprised how small it was. But Big Mac has become part of the rotation now, I think. So I think we'll go Big Mac, McChicken, cheeseburger. That's going to be the Macca's combo for me now. So we're just cruising home now. We've got the car all ready to do our first layer of coating on. So it's all cleaned up. Garage manager's been on the point today.
Yep. Polishes are all clean.
Yep.
Gave them a nice wipe down. Garage is clean. You blew it out with a leaf blower. Car's had its
Yep.
first blow down. So
Yep, we've got full bellies all ready to tackle the afternoon.
yep, sweet. Oh well.
Hopefully the rubbish truck shows up for you.
All right, so the last step before we can apply our glass coating is a full wipe down. So what we've got mixed in this bottle here is IPA. So this is 90% alcohol, 10% water.
Yep.
We've got our Rag Company waffle weave towels, and we're just going to go across all of the glass, making sure that we've got all of the smears, all of the polish off there. So it's in a really, really clean state for us to apply that coating to.
The good thing about this is it evaporates really quickly and it leaves that glass feeling nice and clean. You know, you're removing all those polish oils and stuff like that. Just to really have a nice clean surface so that we actually get the coating to bond onto the glass, and also so that we're locking in a nice fresh clean surface. You've left a whole heap of smears there though.
I think those are inside, aren't they?
Inside,
those are inside the glass. So probably hot tip here is clean the inside of your glass before you coat the outside, because you'll be able to see through nicely to make sure that you do miss or you don't miss any smears, because that's quite deceptive.
And also get a little bit of alcohol and just rub it around your black trim here, because that will help remove those polishes there and that little glue and stuff that was stuck to the stuck by the tape that was on there. Because this is eventually, we're going to end up coating this too, not with glass coating, but we're going to coat it with CSL and EXO.
So given this is our first time using this, which is CarPro's FlyBy30, what we thought we'd do is pull out the instruction manual, because we're pretty familiar with a few other glass coatings, but because we've never used this before, we thought we'd just check ourselves just to make sure we've gone through the sheet. So essentially on here, it's telling us don't apply to a wet windshield. Yeah, no kidding. Polish your glass, we've done that part of the process. Clean the surface well. It suggests a razor here, that's CarPro suggesting another CarPro product. We've just used IPA to do that. And then it is directing us here to shake the FlyBy30 bottle, pour a few drops of it on the suede applicator, and then apply this in a crisscross fashion. So very, very similar to how we would do the paint coating. We're going to treat this almost the same. And what I have noticed in some of the videos that I've seen on others applying this product is they're working in really big sections. So normally, if we're using something like Wolf's, we would apply in circular motions and we would just work in small sections of the windshield. What we're going to do with this is break it down into 2 sections, that windshield, and then the recommendation is 2 to 3 coats. After you've gone and applied your coating, you want to wait between 1 to 3 minutes, depending on conditions, to wipe it off. And then the key as well to avoid that chattering with your wipers is the recommendation is to thoroughly clean the wiper blades and apply CarPro Reload, which thankfully we also have a large bottle of here. And you can buy the FlyBy30 in a kit that has a smaller bottle of this. So we've got everything we need here. We'll start on the windshield and we'll learn with you guys. We'll show you how this works as we work one side each. So CarPro supply, this is the CarPro applicator block and then one of their suede application pads. And in the side of the block, you've got these little slits. So you can use a credit card. We like to use the skin wedge tool, which is purchased from Rupes Garage. Essentially, what you can do there is slide the applicator pad on, and that keeps it in place nicely as you're going around using this to apply coating. If it wants to go in nicely. There we go. So we've given it a shake, taken the lid off, and then what we want to do is load up our pad here.
It's quite nice at the top of that. It's come with like, has it got a little dropper or a little?
It does. It has a little dropper in there, which is really nice. So we've loaded up the pad. I like to put quite a bit of product on for the first time. I think
you do. On the first time, you just want to not soak it down completely, but you want to add a little bit more than you would as if you're onto your, second attempt with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be able to see how far the stretches, right? If we've soaked it down too much, we'll just cover more of a section on the glass. First thing I've noticed with this, the application process is, it's very different to applying something like Wolf's or the G-Technic coating we've used. Like, I feel like it's really hard to keep track of where you're at because I can't see very well where I've covered, and I'm actually using more product than recommended as well, so it can't be the fact that I'm using too little. And when you hear that noise, to me that feels like I haven't used enough product.
Yeah, it almost feels quite grabby and it doesn't seem as slick, with the other ones where it's been slick and you usually see it haze over.
You do, and it goes really milky
over, and then it hazes over, and then you wipe off, whereas this, you can't even tell you got your product on it by the looks of it.
You can't, like it is really challenging to know what I've done because it disappears almost like IPA, and it says to use a few drops. I think I'll be using about 10 drops per application. So
anyway, you are going sort of across the windscreen and then flipping the pad and then going up and down, and that's your sort of cross hatch pattern that they recommend, and that's how that's how you apply your paint coatings and stuff too. So that's the technique, but just a little bit different in the product. I wonder if that's what it's meant to be. Who knows?
Potentially, and look, nothing against the product, right? Because if this is how the application process is meant to be and it performs really well, fantastic.
Well, that's fine, yeah.
But I'm just second guessing myself here whether it is being applied correctly. I'm I mean, I can see on the black more so than the glass.
I can see a bit of haze actually with a little bit of light.
Yeah.
I can see a bit of haze in the middle of the windscreen there, and it is quite humid. We've had a bit of rain and stuff. It is hot, it is humid, so your flash time probably might be a little bit quicker.
Yeah, so we're removing this fairly quickly. I would say a minute is where we're at. It says a minute to 3 minutes.
I can see where you've hazed and you have wiped that off now, just looking. You're probably not going to see it on camera, and I mean, it does say to do a couple of coats on the windscreen.
Yeah, which we'll definitely do.
We'll definitely do, and so we will just keep boxing on, but a little bit different than our typical experience, huh?
Yeah, look, if that was the process, if we've done that correctly and that performs well, how easy was that?
Yeah.
Super, super easy. It's not hard to remove. Looking at the black here, like I haven't had to fight to get it off. With a product like Wolf's, which you used in the past, we've had to use glass cleaner to actually pull out the haze.
Yeah.
So no issue with that here. So what I think we might do is we'll go around, you can have a play with the side windows as well, get some hands-on experience with it, and we'll come back and do the second coat to the windscreen shortly and see if it's made any difference to the application. I'll be able to feel that. So we go around the whole car and we're onto the driver and the passenger window.
So we're definitely loading this pad up a lot more than probably recommended, and the reason why we're loading it up is because we find more product tends to haze over a little bit, and it also makes it easier for us to see where we've been and where we haven't been, right?
Yeah, more product isn't getting rid of that noise.
No.
If you can hear that.
I don't know if more product is the answer.
I don't know either, but I guess the philosophy that we've got is these bottles are relatively cheap. That's about, how much was that? 30? Less than 28 New Zealand dollars, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For the bottle. And
so this is a really cheap coating in the world of coatings, right?
Yeah. And I think the recommendation is you should be able to stretch that to 2, maybe 3 vehicles. I can't remember what the recommendation was, but it was certainly more than 1. So I guess where we're at on the bottle right now, we've only got the window here to finish at the back and then the 2 mirrors. So we're down to that level. So we've used about half the bottle, but what you've got to keep in mind there too is unlike a regular vehicle, we've got the full roof area that we've done as well. So if we hadn't done the roof, we'd probably have used a quarter of a bottle before we get to a second coating stage of windscreens.
Yeah.
I think the answer is, given the price of the product, if you get a better result doing 2 coats all around, you go till it's finished.
Exactly. You don't want a half-empty bottle of coating lying around unless you're going to use it in the next couple of weeks.
No, exactly.
They do have a pretty decent shelf life, I think. As long as you haven't got any chunky bits in your bottle, you could probably reuse it again, but there's nothing worse than looking at a little bit of bottle, a little bit of a little bit of product empty in the bottle on your shelf, right?
No,
you kind of want to get rid of it. So I think in terms of the usability experience, I think it's really easy to apply. It's really easy to buff off. The downside is you can't see where you've been.
No, it's super hard. The only area we've been able to see is on the really heavily tinted window on the top.
With a little bit of white light. I can see a little bit of a haze here. So I guess for us, I mean, if this product works really well with the windscreen wipers, if it works really well with a drying aid, and we get good water behavior, then I think this could probably be a good product to use, despite the downside of not being able to see where you've been.
Yeah, because the application process, you're right, that's so easy to put on. It's just the fact that it's frustrating to know exactly where you're at. I can see a bit of hazing there, but again, it's the lighting. It doesn't go a milky, hazy, cloudy kind of
like
colour,
we've been
like
used
some other
to.
Products.
And also, when you're then buffing this off, you need to make sure that you wipe the adjacent panels around, because you may have the tendency to push product onto a different panel. So just wipe a little bit past where you've already been, just to make sure that you really do get rid of all that product.
Yeah, and unlike what we do with a paint coating, is we're using 1 towel to buff off rather than doing a first wipe, second wipe. But we are using all 8 sides of that towel to make sure that we're consistently working with a fresh portion of it. More haze there.
And that's pretty much the application. It's pretty straightforward, right?
I think the only other thing that we need to do is when we get to doing our second coat, and I think we'll try and stretch to a 3rd coat on the windscreen, is coating the wiper arms with the reload.
Yeah, well, it does say to do that in the instructions.
It does. I'd like a glass coating where you can use the glass coating on the wipers, but I don't know how that's going to perform. So
some of them do say to wipe down.
Yeah, we'll go with the recommendation from CarPro on this one and apply reload to the rubber. So we'll bring you around the front, we'll do our second coat on that windscreen, and we'll show you at the portion where we're coating the wiper blades.
Yeah, I can see that. Hey, so we're up to the windscreen for the second coat now. Oh, pass me that block. I'll just use yours. And you can really see it hazing over, especially back there where you guys are.
So I'd like to do 3 coats on this windscreen. Given that it's a wipe off really quickly, you can go through 3 coats in a matter of, 15 minutes.
Feels a bit slicker the second time round too, eh?
Yep. Tricky bit on the Model 3 Tesla as well is we'll have to put these wipers into service mode, hold them up and coat underneath. And basically we'll have to hold the wiper for the whole flash time.
I've gone slightly crooked here. And that's the downside of this product, eh? You just really cannot see where you're going.
So the upside is how quick is it to apply. Throw me a towel.
How are you getting under that little bit of glass there?
We'll put it into...
You hadn't been going under there yet?
No, no. Oh, I did lift this and go under the corner. But I think we'll put them in service. We'll buff this off, put it in service mode. Let's go under there.
Okay. Does wipe off. I like being able to wipe it off without having to use a removal type product like a glass cleaner or an IPA.
Yeah, I feel good about
being
that
able
too.
to dry wipe is quite nice.
Do you feel like on other glass coatings, if you have used something like an IPA, that you get the feeling that, oh, I've taken away the coating that I've just added to the windscreen?
Yeah, I do. I do kind of agree with you on that.
It is really easy to remove. Give it a thumbs up on the way it is to work with.
Yeah, give it a thumbs down on the fact you can't see it. Starting to look real good, eh?
Yeah, it's looking fantastic. Can you hear that? That's a truck.
That's the truck. We gotta go. We gotta go. Gotta go. Woo-hoo.
So the wipers on the Model 3 are really frustrating. You can put them in what's called wiper service mode, which essentially moves them up the windscreen a little bit, allowing you to get them in a position where you can remove the actual blades. There's no way to pull these up like you can on most other cars and sit them out of the way, so it's created a bit of frustration going through and actually coating under here. But what I thought I'd do to make this a bit easier is I've just popped out the blades, so they're really simple. You just push the button on the top, slide them out, and then that way we can follow CarPro's recommendation, which is to coat the actual rubber on the blade with reload. So it's quite nice that CarPro have actually given us a suggestion here, because, for instance, Wolf's, it doesn't actually say.
It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything, but it does with the G-Technic G1.
Yes.
Is it G1 or I can't remember?
G1. Yep.
No, it's not G1. Is it?
Yeah, G1.
Yeah, with
glass.
the G1 glass coating.
Yep.
They also do give a recommendation about what to do with their wipers. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, a little bit of reload on there. And if you were to buy the kit, does it come with reload?
The kit comes, I'm not sure if the kit came with reload. We got a little bottle of reload in our Sequartz UK 3.0.
Yeah.
I believe the kit comes with Seri glass. I'm not sure if it comes with reload.
Yeah. Anyway, we had a little bit of reload because we've been trying different drying aids and stuff, so we were lucky enough. But I think that it's a good idea to coat that with, that's a classic
CarPro sprayer?
CarPro sprayer, yeah. It'll be clogged up at the bottom.
It will be.
This is all part of the deal though, you know? Doesn't look too bad.
No, it doesn't. Let's, do you want to hold that wiper from under my arm?
CarPro reload smells really chemically, eh?
It does. Just got a really big whiff of that. Okay, right, what we're going to do is take this off. Oh, I'll pop that to the side. We're gonna, there we go.
And then just coat the bottom of those, and I guess just let it cure, because reload again will have a little bit of a curing time on there.
Well, and I'm really interested to see how this performs. I hope there's no chattering. There we go, so we're all coated on there. So we'll leave those off the car for a while, let that cure for a bit rather than resting it on the glass, because we can't leave it in that mode where it sits upright. No. And we probably need to wash that towel fairly soon, because I think I might ruin the towel. So that's it, we're all done with the glass coating. So managed to get all the way around the car twice, yeah?
Yeah, so you just shot out to go and do a few jobs and stuff. So we finished up with 3 coatings on the windscreen.
Yep.
And I managed to get 2 coatings on the roof.
Yep.
And 2 coatings on all the side windows.
Yep.
And you've only got 1 coating on the mirrors, side mirrors here.
On the mirrors here, yeah. I mean, we also bumped up the amount of product we were using as well by the time we got to that second go, didn't we? Especially on the windscreen.
Yeah, and we've blown through a whole bottle of the CarPro FlyBy30. I'm just seeing, I don't know how many mils this bottle is, do you know?
I think it was a 20 ml bottle.
20 mil?
Don't quote me on that.
Yes, you can get, it's a 20 ml bottle, but you can also get it in 50 mils by the looks of it.
Yeah. I think 20 ml bottle is a great size for an average car, and I think the reason that would be sufficient is because most cars wouldn't have as much glass on a roof.
Yeah, I think if you had a little sunroof, you know, a typical sunroof, one part, you'd be fine, but the whole roof is glass.
Yep. I think you could even work your way around a huge vehicle, big SUV, Range Rover, big truck.
It would be safe to say you'd probably get, well, we use a bit more product. You could probably get 2 cars out of that bottle.
Yep.
If you use a lot of product.
Well, CarPro do say you should be able to get at least 2.
Yeah.
I think they may even say 3.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, I think that for the price of FlyBy30, use a whole bottle. If that means you get 2 coats, 3 coats, fantastic. We've got 3 on the windscreen here, so it's going to be really good to...
And for the price of 30 odd bucks, it's a safe bet to give it a crack.
Yep.
Because, I mean, user experience, it was pretty easy to apply, easy to buff off.
Yep.
We didn't have to use any like glass clear or anything like that to get rid of it. It just was really hard to see where you were because it didn't haze over as much as we would like.
I'm hoping though that the water behaviour on this is going to be fantastic, because that's essentially what we're doing this for, right? Where you put the windscreen coating on to get great water behaviour in the rain. So application wise, really easy as long as we've got good coverage.
Yeah.
It's just a bit confusing when you don't see it hazing over particularly clear.
Yeah, and I suppose as long as we do get good windscreen wipers, as long as it works with the drying aid, and we get good behaviour, I guess this could be a really good product. One thing to note though is that when you've finished using your towels that you're going to use to buff off the product, don't put these back in your cabinet. You don't want to use these towels again, because what happens is the product can get in here and it will start to crystallise and you'll get rough spots where bits of product have dried off in here.
Yep.
You then put these towels back on the paint, you're going to introduce scratches and stuff. So these are literally either throw them out or put them in the rag bin, and that's what we use. We use these for rags, you know, shop towels around the garage and stuff like that.
Yep.
So that's a little key point there. I'll tell you what though,
Yeah.
how cool was it?
Yes.
Although we missed, although we missed the big truck coming, which is my favourite. I love the ones that come and empty the big bins. We did manage to get the little food scraps truck going.
It's not quite as flash, is it? Because it's not full automation.
Not full automation, but slightly smaller truck. But how cool is that? You know, the guy like hoisted up the veggie scraps into the back, and then he had to lift it up. And the reason why he had to lift it up is because some of the food scraps had sort of built up at the front of the truck, which means that the tipper bit can't empty, so he had to move it all to the back. That's super cool.
Like a kid in a candy shop over here.
Super
eh?
cool for those guys to have a chat to me about that. Like,
shout out to them. They were pretty willing. I don't think they get too many folks having a chat
I reckon
to them
that made up for the point that we missed the big truck.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, good on them.
So we're about 3:30 in the afternoon now. So our plan right now is to wipe this car down with CarPro eraser all over to get it ready for ceramic coating. So we're going to work on that through the afternoon and the evening, and you guys will be able to check on that in tomorrow's video. Thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow.